Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fableheim and the Legend of Ascension. We have gone around the table, and we have arrived once again at the Enchantress Cyril. And I had a hard time thinking what the heck I wanted to do with the beloved Dryad, because there's really only one more thing I could think of, and I'm saving that for the next time. So, I thought instead we'd show off a rare that I don't use, and that is Sintragosa, the skeleton drake. She, oddly enough, every race has two rares, but the skeleton second rare is only usable by Cyril, so I thought, if not now, when? And Sintragosa is kind of like a hybrid character that's very strange. It's incredibly tanky, but we'll see if we can make it work. Now, my expenditure here is not ideal, not min-maxed at all, and this group could be a little bit more efficient, but we're adding in a touch of the meme, the science, to see if we can discover some new tricks and traps. So here we go. We'll be going in with the Demon and Skeleton because they're just fantastic for what we're going to do. And, of course, we have Elemental, but Elemental really doesn't play a part in my grand scheme here. For Ascension 8, the Bastard's regeneration per week reduced by 25%. This really only comes into play if Cyril's getting punched a bunch, which means we're failing at our goal of preventing that. So here we go.
Following the path of destiny.
Now, part of my scheme with the Skeleton Drake, we got a good artifact, I think, is going to be manipulating or relying upon one single promotion. A promotion that I've talked about literally every time we've played Cyril. And that is the Mental Alienation. This deals damage to morale based on the target's missing life percentage. And basically, if you can get someone to 50% health, you can deal 100% of their morale damage when Mental Alienation is upgraded. So all of our promotion crystals, whatever they're called, is going to be going into Mental Alienation. We're going to be utilizing this to absolutely crump people. So, with that in mind, look at Artifact. Elementals gain Thorns too. Well, I thought it was a good artifact. Maybe we can sell it. Anyway, before I explain the grand strategy, allow me to name our friends. Alrighty, so some of these faces are here because I wanted their emotional support, and some of them are here for science. So the emotional support units, Bork, the skeleton dog, we know he's good, and he's going to be even better if we can level him up once. Papyrus, I've been kind of avoiding Papyrus because we know Papyrus is just good. And hopefully we can make use of his second attack more so than his first attack, because the tiredness is going to come from my boy, Henry, the Dark Magus. If you see Henry, you purchase Henry, because he's just that good. We also have Yogg-Sothoth here because I wanted a character that could do single target damage, and he can either do HP damage or morale damage, or both. Both is good. So as for the meme-tastic science, the focus is Sintragosa. Sintragosa deals air and morale damage in an AoE and applies slowed 2. Now that's not great, but it could be okay. Her second attack is she deals fire and air damage to the front, and the target loses 10% of their max morale if the target's life is above 50%. This is kind of like Murazan's AoE thing, sort of, except Murazan's is current, not total. So we'll see if we can play around with this. This is what gave me the idea for the Mental Alienation synergy. But I think Sintragosa's main goal is to just be an annoying tank, because Sintragosa recovers 65% of her maximum life when a monster is defeated, and at level 4, that's 100%. She can literally be at 1 hit point and go to full. So I think we're going to try and play into that a tiny bit, which is why Henry is here as well. Just for max tiredness, max healing, never dying. The other scientific experiment is Medusa, the Gorgon. I kind of just think the Gorgon's not great. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But she deals morale damage to the front, and she can deal 50% increased morale damage if the target's nature resistance is negative. But I think what is really going to work here is her second attack, which deals ice damage and a little bit of morale damage, and applies slowed 2. With the Ghost synergy applying slow to everybody, assuming we press that button, she has a passive where attacks have a 50% chance to apply stunned 1 if the target is affected by at least 4 stacks of slow. The big crux to this triggering is going to be, does it count the slow stacks before the stun? Like, if Ghost did it at apply 2, Medusa can then do it and apply 2, will it then stun, or does it have to be 4 when she presses the button? Because if it's the latter, ooh, well, we're going to find out together. We also have the 2 Dryads because of our talent trees that I didn't change at all and probably should have, but hey, we're just going to roll with it. As for our trap, this is a sterile unique trap, the animated cactus, dealing AoE morale damage and applying thorns too to the next group of monsters, because we're going to need all the damage we can muster. Alright, well, I kind of wanted an event on Wing 2 so we could spend all of our money as I tend to do. But we could try and preserve our funds for this course, which would be 200, which might not be a bad idea, because that's 2 levels right off the bat. A level 4 character literally at the start of the game. Not a terrible idea. Also, I kind of want to level up this trap. It gets pretty good as you level it up, as you can see. But leveling up Bork, there's a lot of important levels, actually. Let's just see what we can find, Ooh, Robespierre would not... He'd also be pretty good with this strategy. Ooh, Robespierre. Alright, we'll buy Robespierre. And I think we can get 1 level up and then a bunch of YOLOs. Alright. Alrighty. Robespierre, of course, just dealing raw morale damage will help towards the mental alienation, or you can do the synergistic thing, which we could stack with Medusa. They do, like, basically the same damage, just a different debuff. So who can we train? Let's take a look at how expensive everything is. We can level up Treebeard and Douglas. Oh. Do we do that again? Well, we need to level up Bork, I think. Bork is an important level up, and so is Yogg. But we'll start with Bork. I'd like to level up Sindragosa, but Sindragosa literally just gets tankier. So, you know, maybe we'll find the magic purse. Mayhaps we will. Gulthar demands blood. Quenches thirst, and he will send one of his most dreadful avatars into the mortal world. Really? Ed, and Eddie are your most dreadful avatars? Really? Ed, and Eddie. I remember they called the middle one here Double D, right? That was ages ago. Anyway, I wonder if this has synergy with what we're doing. It might. Fun fact, the Psycho Imps are the only character that has AoE bleeding baseline. Who would have thought? You are invited to a work lunch with your employees. They are chanting your name when your turn to pay for everyone comes. What will you pay for? Nothing, because I don't have blood and I don't have gold. We are broke. Negative rich. We discovered last night that trends are just good. They're just good units, which is something I seem to be learning recently, how some of the, shall we say, common units are kind of sort of just good. Now, for our synergy to work here, we do want Medusa in room 1, and I kind of want Henry in room 1 as well. This does make us rather weak to nature. I suppose Bork being in room 1 wouldn't be a bad idea, despite his... No, Sindragosa hasn't... Yeah, okay. Wow, I really do want Bork in room 1, don't I? But synergy. Synergy! So we have no fire resistance in the back room. I guess we'll bring Papyrus back. Also, I'm taunting the game to give me Mammoth's Bridget Bone. I thought about doing the fishing for it, but I decided if the game gives it to us, it's going to give it to us. I'm just going to have to accept the reality. Alright, well. Hopefully there's not fire damage, but knowing the game, there probably will be. This is such a hard start, and it's because I'm so split. I wonder if I should just Enchanted Seeds. That's a thought. Well, I'll give it another try. This is my third turn. You know what they say, third time's the charm. Leading the charge is the Sage who will be attacking the front with ice damage. Hopefully, even though Henry is not long for this world, hopefully his tiredness can help. A lot of the problem here is coming from the elemental weakness applied by the ninja, who is doing AoE nature damage and, of course, inflicting elemental weakness, because he's a dick. That's precisely why. Now, a lot of my synergy here is based on the mental alienation, and that's kind of what I want. Oh, Sindragosa lived barely. But I'm also coming to the realization that right now I don't do enough damage for that to matter. I just don't. So I'm hoping that I can just go all in on morale here, and that'll be enough. You know? I don't know if that was the right call there, but hey. Mental Alienation is pretty sketch until you really get it leveled up. And if I fail again, oh my damage. If I fail again, we can just use the Enchanted Seeds to deal loads of damage. Which, even though that's what we did last time, I hope you'll forgive me, because that's what's going to be effective. Papyrus is going to eat this well. It looks like this was the strategy, although Bork has fallen. Poor Bork. Poor Bork. 3 times, huh? It took 3 attempts. 3 attempts is what it took. And the Invoker still made it. Did I ever introduce her? She attacks the front with fire, which I did say was going to be here. I did say it would be here. Now, of course, Cyril does not do morale damage, but she can absorb life here.
Delicious.
In fact, is she? No. I was going to say, is she going to heal more than she takes damage? No. She actually heals for 4 less than she takes damage, so
You'll make excellent fertilizer.
not that bad. Well, hello. This might actually be okay. Maybe. Good old Professor Putricide. Or we can go with a Ragnarok, whose poison attack is actually going to be pretty good this time. I stand by my statement that I think the Medusa's terrible. I tried using her twice, and it didn't work out well. It did not. So we could go to the Engineer to level up our trap. I do think it's worth leveling up the trap, even though the trap's weakness was very clearly stated here. And I also want to hit this Merchant, because I need a second trap. Kind of like this. But speaking of that, all 3 of these characters are good. I wanted to avoid using Murazan, because Murazan is kind of just a better version of Sindragosa. So we'll just buy Kael'thas and the Pile of Bones and move on. Morale damage Cyril, huh? I guess I'm doing it. Oh, dearie me. We've seen a lot of Kael'thas, and Kael'thas also benefits greatly from leveling up. But unless, yep, during a break you played the famous fantasy role-playing game Houses and Humans with your employees. They've learned an awful lot about themselves. So have I. Alright, I'm gonna do it. The star of our show, Sindragosa, is off to improve our team by acquiring Mammon's Bridget Bone, which is, in fact, going to be glorious. Now, we can very easily make use of that. I'm just trying to think of the... With Mental Alienation, this kind of turned into a build I was going to avoid. But hey, this is the fate that we've been played. The cards we've been played have created the fate that we shall utilize. Okay. Well, when life gives you a glorious lemon, You go steal an artifact from these heroes. That campfire kind of sucks, but we'll deal with it. Well, this is either going to go incredibly well or incredibly poorly, and I really don't see any in between. So, leading the charge once again is a ninja, joined once again by an evoker who will be attacking the front with fire damage and being immune to all damage over time effects. But this time they are joined by the enchanter who has shuffled my team around. And how much is that going to hurt? Okay, not that much. The shuffle here is pretty annoying. Pretty annoying. Pretty annoying. I do want to demoralize, but I also want to just throw a fireball at this fucker's face. Can you tell I don't like the ninja? I don't know if I made it readily apparent. Also, the fact that she's immune to demoralization really sucks. And Papyrus didn't get a second turn. Well, at least you're going to be able to see part of the power of the mental alienation. Look at that. Demoralization didn't stick, but he still ran. Here comes the campfire, which was kind of annoying as mentioned, but at least the elemental weakness here has been removed. So this should be enough for us to win. And to think, all that damage was through Mammon's Bridget Bone. Did I ever explain what that does? I don't think I did. Anyway, Mammon's Bridget Bone makes it so that if there's only skeletons, all skeletons gain 15-12 resistance and armor. It's actually incredibly good. And with the tanky nature of... Alright, you're immune to poison. The tanky nature of Miss Sindragosa, it'll be even better. You know, when she gets back.
From the earth you were born, into the earth.
Well, this is annoying. But thankfully, they still have some of their debuffs, so Blight is actually okay here. The downside is that I'm not healing. Twice now, Cyril has...
That must hurt.
Wow, this trade is more annoying than I thought. This is twice now that Cyril has gotten involved, when I didn't want her to. Also, she only heals 15 HP per week. That really blows. Yeah, look at the damage. Or the lack thereof.
So brave. Help.
Wow. This is not going well. Do I have ice attacks? Robespierre and Medusa? We definitely take the Scalen figurehead. Just YOLO buffs. YOLO buff everything. 276. Let's upgrade our trap. Make it actually semi-useful. And then we do a lot of YOLOing, I think. A monster has been caught with an adult magazine depicting humans. Will you turn a blind eye to this obvious case of anthropophilia? Will you confiscate or take a look at it? For science. We shall permit it because Henry is a good boy. Deep down. This strange gentleman, in the guise of a toy manufacturer, knocks on your door and offers you a range of amusing items. You request nothing in exchange, other than the materials required to make them. A strange and most troubling force physically prevents you from declining. I love the imbued catalyst, but do you know what we're missing? Elementals. Now, the magic purse would be phenomenal. Sacrificing Papyrus for it, not so much. The Tarball makes it so that heroes afflicted by burn lose 30 speed. I wonder, does that actually apply slow? Or, how do I look? That button. I can't do it here. Magic Purse is so good. I'm probably not going to be able to upgrade stuff if I don't get the Magic Purse. But Papyrus is so powerful too. I can always find another papyrus. Alright, papyrus, thank you for your service. This also lets me preserve some of my life, which is probably going to be needed for the champion at this rate. While wandering around in the corridors this morning, you come face to face with a human. He seems as surprised as you are, so what are you going to do? Capture him, of course. I do have a question, a scientific question. Does Terrified increase the damage of Mental Alienation? It should, but Mental Alienation is also percentage-based damage. So, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Not sure in the slightest, actually. Ragnarok is going to be a very specific slot in here, I think. Oh, I need her in room 2. I have no nature resist. Alright, well. Our first champion with a Fountain of Youth. I believe. Mostly. I am incredibly concerned. But also kind of confident. Leading charge is this little disciple boy. But our champion is the Pyromancer. And you may have noticed that our promotion room is getting almost 0 value. 0.1 value, you could say. But alas, we just have to accept that. We got some decent YOLOs. Our champion, the Pyromancer, will be attacking the back with fire damage and healing based on the damage he dealt based off of burning. So we're pretty much going to be focused entirely on morale damage, which she can't be demoralized because of course not. The game's just in my way that way, you know. But the tracker, also attacking the back, cannot be demoralized, but she is also inflicting the burn status, which is allowing the Pyromancer to heal, annoyingly. Thankfully, Kael'thas is a Giga Chad and does not care for fire. He is about to fall, though, in the next round that the enemies obtain. Thankfully, look at his resistance. 65% fire resist. Beautiful. Beautiful. Madman's Bidget Brone truly is disgusting. If only. If only. Also, he just removed his penalties. So that was rude. That was exceptionally rude. Which means that does not ricochet. I was less confident about this room. Ooh, there's a flame shield here, though. Well, it's a flame shield, but it's on person who's going to be... Alright, well, we got a perception, actually. Maybe this will be okay. Henry's just going to have to spam out to this tiredness, and we're just going to go beat this guy down. Alright, this worked out. Kind of funny that she got Flaming Spirit. Kind of funny. How's your nature resist? 15? This still technically does more damage. But we'll be spamming this. Oh, you died real fast. And you're also going to die pretty fast.
Oh, did you lose your friends?
Queenie, you're going to do okay, right?
That must hurt.
Oh, she is, barely.
So brave.
Alrighty.
How quaint.
Well, okay. I kind of want the Nightmare Mirror. Having Kel'Thuzad, I think this would be the only instance in which I have both skeleton rares. And I have Mammoth's Bridget Bone. It's like, this is an ideal Kel'Thu motherfucking Zod moment. Oh, the Nightmare Mirror is so good, though. But this is a moment for Kel. There, I was like, wait a minute. What happened? No. Kel'Thuzad. Z. There we go. GG. Okay, so we do want to level up, but we are currently regaining 15 life a week, so I am going to reluctantly tap this doctor who didn't heal me a whole bunch. Bastard. Rotten bastard. And I'm going to hit this therapist. It's kind of strange. There's only 3 people who really, really need it. But our tears are otherwise not overly useful, so we are in fact going to get a full heal up. Ritual is very important for us. You stand before the mystic tree and receive essences of knowledge for the ritual. The ritual being mental alienation upgrading. This makes it so instead of 1%, a 1-to-1, it is 1.5%. So if we can get... I'm not doing the math right now. I'm tired. So, I can't remember if the game gives you 75 again. So, we're gonna leave and sustain our 25. I don't think it does. But I also can't remember. Cinder Ghost is returning to us in 8 turns. Somehow the star of today's show is just not interested in showing up, but that's okay. Because Cinder Ghost has got Mammoth's Bridget Bones for us. She's contributing in her own way. Now, of course, this master bonus and fat gold gain does have another campfire. Another bonfire. But we're going to accept it because this gold magic burst trainer, it's good. Or maybe event trainer. Now think about it. Motherfucker! Twice! We have the promotion spell before any of my rooms. Oh. And on top of that, guess who's here again? The Invoker, who is once again immune to damage over time effects. And instead of the Ninja, it is instead the Shadow. The next level up from Ninja, who will be attacking the front with loads and loads and loads of nature damage. Also, the Hellbringer is here, who for once is actually attacking the back with ice and not doing her weird ricochet thing. Yes, Cleave, I dare you. So we're actually just going to kill this bastard. Nothing else involved. Who are you coming back as? Another Robespierre. Wow, Robespierre. That is great. Truly great. These guys are resistant to both things. Oh, and she has the thing where her debuffs are 1 turn. Wow. What a cock. The game's just like, eh, you're trying to have fun. We can't have that. There's no fun allowed here. Probably just should have thrown a fireball or something. And this trap is basically useless against these characters. But, there is a saving grace. And that's room 2. Although this, whew, this is about to be a bad time. She did YOLO Shell, which is good, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Yeah. Well, terrified. She should be gone next to her. We YOLO'd in Rage on Yogg. That's pretty good. Please don't die. It was enough. Nice. Alrighty. And just like that, we've recovered. Oh. It's kind of awkward, isn't it? Well, okay. We'll just poison her. Ah, this debuff thing. You know, I wanted to avoid turning this into a pure debuff build, but sometimes life just has its own schemes. It just has its own schemes, you know? Wow, I got some health back from you. Thank you. We're just gonna go with power. Power just makes everything she does better. So, we'll take it. So we could double train her. But I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna train her plunder. We have a lot of units, so plundering might not be awful. I do usually avoid it, as many of you know. So there are a few units we need to upgrade. Kael'thas being one. His attack actually becomes useful. Yogg being another. That makes his attack better. I guess we'll buff you. How does Robespierre level? I think I ask this every time I see him. I should probably focus on skeletons because we do have Mammon's Bridget Bone. Wow. Your level 4 resistances are pretty good. Also, his back attack becomes stronger, which wouldn't be a bad idea. Level 4 Bork would also be pretty cute because his passive gets fully juiced, which I like. I like a fully juiced passive. And considering we have Mammon's Bridget Bone, we'll be using it a lot. Okay, fine. Am I really debating upgrading Ed, Ed, and Eddie? Am I really doing this right now? I think I am. I've never used the Psycho Imp before. I mean, you know, actually used. He's been there. He's been sold. Still not great, but... I mean, he can take a punch, slow something, and then synergize with Medusa, maybe? Also, this cleave is not bad. 60 morale cleaved under almost all conditions is pretty good. Pretty good, but I think I'm going to save my money. You never know when you're going to need it. Oh, you had to choose some pretty hefty boys, didn't you? Ironically, Henry is the best one here to be wounded. Alright, we'll take this yellow up for an upgrade trap. Your volunteers have forced an engineer to make a trap for them, and to serve as a guinea pig for said trap. Test results, highly conclusive. They even brought the researcher back, who has been spared in exchange for a trap upgrade. They have emerged unscathed. Level 3 animated cactus, not bad. Some kind of ogre, claiming to be a monster trainer, offers you his services in exchange for some fresh blood. One of your employees could help you lower this price. Ah, Notre Dame. I thought about Notre Dame as well for this synergy, but hey. The R&D manager has developed a new trap and seems to be very proud of it. Proud of rats, huh? How do I feel about that? Sacred altar. I kind of just want to ignore it. Can I do that? Am I allowed to not take the hardest fight? Robespierre is a little tired of life. How bad would it be if we put this room... pretty bad, huh? Not that I've been able to get any mental alienation synergy so far. But, there's not a whole lot of actual damage coming out of this room, huh? What has happened to my idea? It's falling apart. I kind of want to just go for this master bonus, to be honest, team. And I think I'm going to. In fact, I'm going to swap the rooms and see how terrible this is. See if I can spare Robespierre. What if I just had an idea. Double Treant in room 1. I just had another idea. Ooh, that could be funny. Let's see how the layout is, and we'll see if I can actually make use of this. I'm going to go for this master bonus. I had an amazing plan. It was beautiful. And the dungeon actually lined up for it. Enchanted Seeds, buff this group, have a whole bunch of trance-stealing damage, and then mental alienation. It was perfect. So what went wrong, you ask? everything. Leading the charge. Well, the composition went wrong. Ooh, look at these rolls. Not bad. Leading the charge is the knight. But what is a king before a god? And he is joined by the sage. The sage is actually one of the more annoying parts here with his skill, which is going to remove the highest stacked penalty, which right now is Elemental Weakness. And the shitty Shamananin, who actually is what ruined my plan, my scheme, which is weird because usually the shitty shaman just kind of falls over. We're doing quite a bit of damage here to Sir Knight Roland. So, you know, I can't be dissatisfied. The knight is supremely annoying. And it would be great if he just ran away right now, but he's not. He's not going to. Look how close. But his enrage still goes off. How annoying. But hey. It's alright. Because we've won. I kind of want to demoralize, but I also kind of want to throw a fireball at him. Choices, choices, choices. Killing the sage might not be a bad idea. Fireball. Physical damage. Yeah. Kel'Thuzad doesn't really fit in this, but Kel'Thuzad also just kind of kills people. So can I really complain? No, the answer is no. I mean, the answer is yes, but I'm not going to complain. Beautiful. Second time's the charm. Ooh. Ooh, Great Enchanted Siege. We're going to take the Region 3 because 15 health per week is pretty terrible. We're going to YOLO here. Do you have a moment to spare to talk about our Lord and Tormentor, Golthor, the Destroyer? I do. I do. What can I train? Level 4 KT. I'd like to get a level 3 Ragnarok. I would like that. I'd like that a lot. You know what? We'll take level 4 Robespierre. Robespierre is thick. And our star should be returning very soon. Speed? For me? For 42? No. Yeah. 69. Nice. One of your employees has accidentally discovered a long-lost secret tunnel. It leads to a treasure room filled with gold and housing a rare and valuable artifact. You can keep everything for yourself, reward the employee with some gold, or gift them the artifact. The miraculous pill. We're going to keep it all. It wouldn't be a Fable run without the miraculous pill. Now, we are going to swap-a-roo the Rumaroos because this is a champion. And we need to be prepared. Sindragosa has returned. The mighty Sindragosa. Who might be ignored for now. But, hey. She is going to be so thick with Mem and Bridget Bone. Alright, we'll see if we can make use of it. We shall see. It's time. Really? The veterans give as much gold as the champion. That sounds suspicious. Anyway, les champions. Well, I think the game has decided that mental alienation is just not for me. Because our promotion room is first. Again. I really wish there was a way to control that. But anyway, our champion is also here to put us in the floor. Because it is the Necromancer. The one, the only. Please don't die. Okay. I figured you wouldn't, but I had to ask. The Necromancer deals an obscene amount of damage to the back. 198. And gains enrage stack for every bit of morale that she loses. Guess what type of damage we do? Morale damage. Thankfully, there's no Sacred Altar, so I think we could just literally brute force it, which is my favorite thing to do. She is joined by this person, the Templar, who is leading. Literally one short of that ricocheting. Ugh. Fuck. the Templar who is attacking the front with air damage applying vulnerability, and joined by the Amaja Hagen attacking the back with air damage applying tiredness and restoring some morale during the first combat. So, I'm scared, basically. I know I just applied a ton of tiredness, but, that's not going to do much. I'm pretty much counting on you running away. Or you. Or you. If he runs away, the domino kills her. Lives at 2. But this should be enough. Oh, okay. Brute forcing it. You love to see it. Really? 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 Okay. I have to think hard about this. The Night Meme Catcher. Now, we recently did a Night Meme build where I leaned into it, and it was pretty good. The reason I'm thinking about it again is because this leans really hard into the mental alienation. With demoralization doing physical damage, we are doing a whole bunch of morale damage, which lowers people, but then the demoralization is taking away their health, which the mental alienation will then capture and then blow up their morale. That is almost as perfect as it gets. Mouse Shudder, however, is really good. I have underestimated the value of silence, but with the way our dungeon has been laid out multiple times, can I even make use of Mouth Shudder is the question. We also have Akasha here. I love Akasha, but unfortunately Akasha is not really a part of what we're doing. We could just take Akasha to deal HP damage, but I think this is so dangerous. I think we're going to do it. I'm really doing a night. Okay. Alrighty. Because, of course, the Cult Thorn is pointless. It's time for the night meme again. Don't let your memes be dreams. Unleash them as nightmares. I probably can't use that title again. Oh, Centricosa, I really don't want to level you up. No, I don't have any blood. How does Kel'Thuzad's attack level up? It's been a while. Oh, it applies Frostbite. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. That is quite good, in fact. Centricosa is supposed to be the star of today's show. Supposed to be. It's going so well, as you can see. I am quick mathing in my head, and I can, in fact, level up, and then... Okay, Centricosa is the star. Arachnarok is here, because she's adorable. It's probably the Alchemist. We don't really need tiers. I mean, I need a few. I need 10, to be specific. We're about to start murdering people. So it should be okay, I hope. The management. I kind of want to keep Robespierre, and I kind of don't need that. So, off you go, Ed and Eddie. And, okay, we did receive... Did we receive 100? Well, anyway. We can finally get to the final level of Mental Alienation. Finally. All the finals. This makes it so it's 2% max morale per missing life percentage. So this means we get them to 50% and they just run. The Craven Dogs. The Craven Dogs. So with the remaining 50, we can do a few other things as well. I do like Elemental Flaw quite a bit, but I think I'm going to go with Freeze. I like the Tiredness 7. Tiredness 7 is pretty good. We can also pick up Cursed Seeds or Amplify. Nah, I'll take Cursed Seeds. YOLO penalties. Fun fact, the other trap for Cyril... Well, a wizard with a strange hat has fallen from the sky and landed in the entrance hall. He was carrying a magical artifact. Now, there is probably no way in hell that we upgrade Sentry Ghost to level 4 without the magic purse. But the game cannot just give me the combo and expect me not to take it. Sorry, magic purse. So this is the pocket mirror. Damage of the first attack suffered by monsters placed at the back is returned to the assailant once per fight. You probably figured out what I'm thinking. And you would be correct. I'm going to sell Medusa. I'm thinking about it. Let's see who we're going to sell. Let's think deeply about this, shall we? Alright, there's no need to think that hard about this. Medusa has actually been okay. Sort of. Kind of. Precognition hasn't been bad. Maybe I should try and find a synergy for that. But, you know, money. Loads and loads of money. I kind of... Do I want to extend this? I think I do. Do I want to extend it with money or tears? I can't get a level 4 cactus if I do it with tears. So, we'll extend it with money, as much as I don't want to. The doctor just had a brilliant idea. Why not cynically gather blood or tears directly from your employees? Well, that is a brilliant idea. We'll take the tears. Or the blood. I should be killing people soon. Actually, we'll take the blood. Because I just realized if we actually land Mental Alienation, 50-50, Sacred Altars, then, you know, they'll be giving me tears. They'll be dead. D-E-D dead. D-E-D. Dead. Kel'Thuzad is so much more useful at level 3, huh? Well, let's see if I screwed the pooch. I might have. Who knows? I bit my tongue. This is going to be quite the test of our strategy, we'll call it. Leading the charge is the Amazon, who will be attacking the center with a lot of nature damage. Joined by the Dragon Knight, who will be attacking the center with, you guessed it, a lot of nature damage. She blocked the first attack, but that's okay. Robespierre is happy to eat the center damage, but there is also the Valkyrie, who will be attacking everybody with air damage and gaining buffs if anyone's faster. Thankfully, no one really is. I hope Kael'thas lives one more turn. He does have Shell and some nature in it. Well. Now, we actually got a good layout. So let's see. Wow. The power of Mental Alienation. Not bad. Not bad. If I'd lived even like one more turn to get the demoralization damage, we could have just won. That wouldn't have been bad. We might have just made it. Now, of course, with the Night Meme Catcher, we no longer deal morale damage with this, but we still deal some morale damage. Kinda sucks that I can't kill you. So Yogg is gonna overkill this. Well, that is what it is. Oh, domino effect. Duh. That... More region. That worked. I probably should have taken the Blight, honestly, because we're coming to the end. That worked well. A wandering troubadour offers to sing for your employees in exchange for a modest sum. Sir Gracchio could have made it sing for free. We're coming to the end. Usually near the end, I want to avoid events because I'm afraid. But it is high time to go to the stockroom during the cleaning. One of your employees found this strange object. Would you like to take it, auction it, or gift it? Demonic pendant. We will give it to Kel'Thuzad because that's a level 3 Kel'Thu motherfucking Zad. And I like that. Now, unfortunately, I guess we're going to go Sanctuary. It looks like there's no more level ups Vulnerability? Sure. Sure. We're gonna hit this alchemist, and I'm gonna just kind of go. I was hoping there'd be one more trainer. We had the funds. We could have made a level 4 Syndragosa. She is the star of the show, despite having very little to do with today's episode. I mean, she got Mammoth's Bridget Bone. She did the thing. That's what matters. So, speaking of Mammoth's Bridget Bone, it's going to play an important part in this magnificent final encounter. And hopefully the dungeon doesn't screw us over. Again. The game is asking, are you sure? Are you mentally prepared for what I'm about to do to you, game? Maybe. I asked the question to the game, but the game is also asking me. And the answer for me is less certain. The game was kind, sort of, in our dungeon layout. And now it's all up to me. And our champion is the Archmage. Ironically, that buff he gets at the start of the dungeon because of the Ascension level literally doesn't mean anything. Also, our shuffle went pretty well, I think. The Archmage will be attacking the front with ice damage, applying Frostbite, but his real sticker is going to be that he's going to acquire Flame Shield when I hit him, which I plan on doing quite a bit. Quite a bit of that. He is joined by the Enchanter, Merlin, Sir Merlin, who shuffled everyone around, is actually going to deal quite a bit of damage to himself because of our lovely thorns, which we have because of the cactus and its wonderful placement. I knew what was up. I knew what was up. But I don't know what I want to do here. There's also the shitty Shamanin in here. And since Syndragosa was in the back, which of course started her with less health, the reason she was there is because she heals, and I knew Kel'Thuzad was going to die. It was inevitable. But, will you live? No, too many dots. It's looking to me like this is a pretty solid GG. 10 stacks of Flame Shield. You healed a little bit, but it will not be enough. Because Mental Alienation, when lined up, asterisk, is pretty busted. I got one.
My quest is over.
I got one good Mental Alienation. We did great, team.
My growth is limitless.
We did great.
It is inevitable.
Now, I could have saved me quite a bit of headache and just done a murder build. And then lined up Mental Alienation when it lined up, and when it didn't, I just murdered them. I could have done that. But I wanted to spice things up a little bit, and I don't think I did in the end. But Syndragosa saw some play. She was there. Round of applause, mostly for getting Mammoth's Bridget Bone and doing very little else. Also, thank you, Papyrus, for your honorable sacrifice. It will not go forgotten. But anyway, that was Serral. And she has one more spin. I mean, unless we include her for the final levels, which I don't know if I'm going to. And in her final spin, you better believe that we'll be seeing the Wombo combo. The combo Wombo of the gods. I'm bringing them both. Because I can. Thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you to the patrons and channel members who support the channel. I greatly appreciate you. Sorry for being tired, but sometimes that's what happens. If you'd like to stay updated with happening on the channel, feel free to join the Discord in the description down below. And I'll see you all next time for Lyra's second turn. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll figure it out. Bye!